Over and over again, we're completely surrounded by noise. And I don't mean traffic or construction. I mean the constant noise of everyone's opinions. There's a harsh reality to the world we live in right now. The people who know the absolute least about a subject are usually the loudest ones in the room. You'd think confidence would go hand in hand with actual knowledge and experience. But just look around. It's like we're watching this massive theatrical performance where loud confidence totally covers up a lack of ability. The deepest thinkers out there, the ones who actually understand how complicated the world is, usually stay quiet or second-guess themselves. Meanwhile, pure ignorance comes with this scary level of certainty. Why are things so incredibly backwards? Just log on to any platform or watch people argue over today's biggest issues. You'll see people fighting for a completely one-sided opinion, like their life literally depends on it. They completely ignore basic logic, brush off actual experts, and deny facts that are staring them right in the face. So why is all this noise so appealing to us? Well, our brains are basically wired to save energy. We crave simple, black and white answers for issues that are actually incredibly complex and multi-layered. When someone makes a loud, confident statement, even if they're dead wrong, it gives us this comforting, but completely fake sense of security. At the end of the day, people don't buy the truth. They buy whatever is said with absolute confidence, simply because it rescues them from the exhausting weight of doubt. This kind of blind confidence is basically a virus. It doesn't spread because it's actually right. It spreads because it feeds directly into our desperate need to have our egos stroked. Back in 1995, in Pittsburgh, there was this guy named MacArthur Wheeler. He walked right into two different banks in broad daylight and robbed them. He didn't wear a mask, didn't try to hide his face at all. Naturally, the police tracked him down just a few hours later using the security tapes. It turns out, Wheeler had read that lemon juice could be used as invisible ink. Using some incredibly twisted logic, he was dead certain that if he just rubbed lemon juice all over his face, he'd be totally invisible to the cameras. Here's the thing. Wheeler wasn't crazy. He was just deeply stuck in an illusion about what he actually knew. And this ridiculous story is the perfect key to decoding the psychology of blind confidence. This exact story actually caught the eye of two psychologists named David Dunning and Justin Kruger. In 1999, they published a paper on it and gave this whole phenomenon its official name, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. Their study revealed a pretty cruel paradox. The people who are the absolute worst at something are usually the ones who rate their skills the highest. Why is that? Dunning and Kruger explained it like this. You actually need a certain level of knowledge and smarts just to realize what you don't know. The skills you need to get the right answer are the exact same skills you need to recognize when you're wrong. When someone is completely clueless, they don't have the mental tools to evaluate themselves. They can't see the big picture. So, in their own tiny little world, they genuinely believe they're the expert. But now, look at the rest of the graph. The second you actually start digging deeper, your confidence goes into an absolute free fall. It's always the people with real, actual competence who are constantly second-guessing themselves. There is a famous quote by Socrates, "The only thing I know is that I know nothing." Intellectual humility comes from actually going deep enough to realize that the limits of human understanding are practically endless. Learning about the Dunning-Kruger effect isn't about giving yourself a fancy new term to tear other people down. The ultimate goal of understanding this is to look in the mirror. How many times have we been the ones standing on the peak of Mount Stupid without even realizing it? Have we ever rushed to a heavy judgment after reading a single headline online? Having the guts to simply say, "I don't know," or "I need more time to look into this," isn't a sign of weakness. It is actually the ultimate peak of intellectual maturity. But more importantly, This mindset gives us an incredible amount of mental power. Once you realize that someone screaming in your face is actually just putting their own lack of knowledge on display, you completely lose the need to argue back. The reality is, you can't control what other people think, and you definitely can't use logic to wake someone up if they don't even process logic. Trying to quiet down the whole world is just an exhausting, pointless fight. Real power is about drawing a hard line between what you can actually control and what you can't. Let the crowd have their noise. Your only real job is to protect your own inner peace and mental integrity. Next time you're faced with someone's loud, irrational confidence, just practice the art of letting go. Smile, take a step back, and return to your own inner world. Because at the end of the day, a truly deep and wise mind always knows how to find peace in the quiet. Thanks so much for listening. Wishing you a peaceful day.